Before the 2000s, the world barely spoke about one of the darkest tragedies of the Korean War, the No Massacre. In 2009, a film finally dared to break that silence. Today, I'll be reviewing A Little Pond based on the true story of the No Massacre. The movie was directed by Yi Sang-woo, who was born in 1951 and studied at Seoul National University for aesthetics. He founded two theaters and directed a variety of plays before releasing his debut film, A Little Pond. Currently, Yi Sang-woo serves as an artistic director and a professor in Korea. I also wanted to briefly mention that the movie was inspired by The Bridge at Nogunri by Charles J. Harley. The producer and Yi Sang-woo together decided, after reading the book, that they wanted to expose the realities of the No Massacre. A couple general facts about the movie. Like I mentioned before, the movie is based on the No Massacre and the No village. It released in October 22nd, 2009 at the Busan Film Festival. It had a total runtime of only 86 minutes. Yes, only 86 minutes. The movie packed emotion and reality in such a short time. And sadly, the movie received no awards. It was also originally supposed to be a documentary, but the producer and Yi Sang-woo could not find enough investors. Hence, they decided to make it into a film. A unique type of film, which did not have protagonists but a lot of perspectives. Because they did not have many investors, many cast and crew members decided to work for free, just out of respect for the story. It also had a very limited release and received no major awards despite having critical support from the audience, only reason being because of its controversial nature. I want to highlight some of the cast briefly. There are a lot more cast members on here, and these cast members truly have my respect for working on such a low compensation, and some of them even working for free for such a grand story. Myung Chul as Jang Lee, he's the naughty boy. Moon Sung Kyun as Mr. Moon, he's the rich, wealthy villager. Kim Ji Hyun, who's the school teacher. Jeon Hye Jin, who's Jang Lee's mother. Kim Ro-ha as JB's father. Park Kwang Jung as Mr. Park. And then Song Kang-ho as a police officer. And we've seen Song Kang-ho in every movie. Like, he's a very big actor. He's a really popular Korean actor. And he's there in a little cameo at the start of the film as a police officer when he's arresting Mr. Moon's son. A brief historical context behind the movie. In the 1950s, during the Korean War, North Korea performed a surprise attack to South Korea. And as you can see from a picture here, on September 14, 1950, North Korea had captured Seoul. The United States had to hastily dispatch insufficiently trained troops from Japan to join the South Korean army to defend against this invasion. I want to also mention that North Korea at this time had the backup of the Soviet Union, and South Korea had the backup of the US. These nations were fighting, but the villagers only wanted peace. Losing the battle, American soldiers began retreating throughout Korea. Although rumors spread among Americans that North Korean infiltrators were hiding among the civilian refugees. This is when the massacre began. The movie opens in a serene, small, rural village of Nogunri, a village in its own world where most people were rice farmers. The audience sees a mid-century village where children playing, old men relaxing, and a young teacher led her singing contest practice. All of a sudden, there's a shift in energy. The villagers see a storm of military who ask them to evacuate, since the area would be a spot for war. Ordinary villagers fled their homes. Villagers became refugees. They gathered and they decided to go to the other side of the country. Here is when they are stopped. Here is when they are stopped and told to gather near a railway underpass. They think that the Americans will bring them a vehicle and take them away. But no, there was something else that was going to happen to them. Due to the confusion, miscommunication, and fear of North Korean soldiers disguised as refugees, the US troops opened fire on these villagers who were simply sitting on a railway seeking refuge. Later, the film follows different families showing the chaos, terror, and human cost of being trapped between two armies. The movie ends with a few surviving villagers returning to normal lives in the fall as the world forgets about the incident. It feels like a dream, and the movie ends with a dreamlike scene, where the children are brought back singing the theme song that they never performed. A simple historical aftermath. Over the 3 days, July 26th, July 29th, most of these refugees were killed. The few survivors, who were mostly children, rose from the piles of their dead bodies, of their families' dead bodies. Almost 400 villagers were killed. After all this, the Korean and US governments denied that the no-gun incident ever took place. Even in 2001, President Clinton expressed regret, but never issued a formal apology or admitted the US's mistake. The movie used very different techniques to get to the audience. It showed many different perspectives and didn't have one protagonist. It felt like a documentary and almost like it was real because it showed the serene and quiet life of villagers. It focused on the children and their innocence and constantly compared it to the soldiers' panic, showing how war dehumanizes people. It dehumanized the soldiers. It highlights that the ordinary people are the real victims of the Korean War. I wanted to quickly seek out why the movie was called A Little Pond. The movie represents a quiet village, like a small pond that no one ever pays attention to, which was now disturbed by war. It could also stand for a metaphor about how No-Gun Massacre was ignored or denied because it stands as small compared to other historical narratives of during this time. It also could represent how fear spreads among civilians and soldiers, just like how ripples spread throughout a pond. Miscommunication during wartime escalates quickly, and small actions become enormous consequences, which is what exactly happened at the No-Gun Massacre. What did I learn? I learned the real victims of war are mostly regular civilians. I learned how history is not just battles and politics, it is also about the everyday lives that are caught in the middle. The No-Gun Massacre taught me that fear can become a tool for dehumanization. It can make you see beside from what is truth. I also learned how the No-Gun Massacre is only one of the most famous massacres of the US. It exposes how the US has a myth of saving or liberating Korea and other nations, but in practice, the US only sees Koreans as threats to be controlled or eliminated. Here's a quick look at my references. Thank you.